Hello everyone. Well, I am in the mood for spring already, so I did a couple of orders which I kind of previewed in another video or my last video, and I went ahead and put my Stoneground, my American Journey, and a new company that I just started getting a couple of paints from, Dshalie. And they also sent me a couple of samples which we'll swatch out. And I have my new spring palette, and I love this tin as well. It's like one of those Fraser Price, only in blue and without the water in it. It's supposed to be brass. I'm not quite sure if it is. So we're going to go ahead and do a little spring fever and swatch out my new paints, and we'll do a little painting as well. All right, I got a sheet already set up. I did a little doodle that we'll paint in a little bit, spots for our swatches and everything. And the main amount of paints came from Stoneground, the Mint Gardener. Then we've got two Dshalies in here. The little ones off to the side are going to be the American Journey, which I think is made by, let me think. I think they're made by Da Vinci. But don't quote me on that, but it seems like they're made by Da Vinci. And then I have one Prodigal Son in here, my Magnesium. And this is like one of my all-time favorite blues, and I think it fits perfectly in a spring palette because I am ready for the warm weather already. And we haven't even really gotten into February too much. So let's go ahead and swatch everything out, and then we'll do a little painting. Most of the Stoneground, I don't know if I mentioned, are the Mint Gardener set, and then I added a couple additional ones. Doesn't that look so pretty? Okay, so let's go ahead and get our first one going. Let's zoom in. Our first paint from Stoneground is Naphthol. I'm using a Perla brush. I think it's this one's actually kind of smaller. I think it's a number 6, which I probably should get a bigger brush. Nothing like a bright fire engine red here. Make our lives exciting. Okay, I changed up to my normal Perla 8. It's like my favorite swatching brush. We have Potters. Yeah, I was really attracted to this Mint Gardener palette. It just had some really pretty mixture of colors, and then of course, you know, I can't leave that alone, so I have to add some, change some up. But Stoneground paints are gorgeous. Next is one of their custom colors for that palette called Delilah Pink. It is really pretty. Hopefully that's in focus. That is so pretty. Then we go into one of the Dshalies, and I had never really tried this brand before. I did swatch out a little bit on these, and wow, so nice. This is called Strawberry Yogurt. It does have an opacity to it, just like the previous Delilah Pink did. But these are they feel very smooth, very beautiful. Then we have Bloom, by Stoneground. Not quite as opaque as the previous two, but still has a little bit. And then we have Apricot by American Journey. I have my little half panners in there because, you know, I couldn't just waste that space. I always feel like the palettes have to be to the brim. And this is a beautiful apricot. I saw a few other people using a couple of the American Journey. Now, I didn't get a whole bunch. I have quite a few Da Vinci, and I see that quite a few of them overlap. So I only got a couple of the kind of different colors. The next is American Journey Coastal Fog. These are such summery, springy colors. You can see how opaque they are by how they hit the black tape. Very, very pretty though. Kind of reminds me of like a Davies Gray. Then we go into Florence Blush. And this is one of the specialty colors out of that Gardener's set. This kind of makes me think of like a little bit pinkier buff titanium. And we have Mars Orange. It's kind of nice to have a palette like this. There's no browns in this. Just the pretty springy colors. Usually my palettes have a lot of browns in them. Something a little different. Naples Yellow Deep. It's a nice Naples yellow. I don't know if I'd consider it deep. It's not real orange or anything. Hanza Yellow Light. And of course these are not pre-wet. They just pick up beautiful like that. I don't have to do much to them at all. And we have Gamboge. That one seemed to move in the pan a little bit. I'll have to stick it down a little better. Since the palette's brass, the magnets don't work, so kind of have to. So pretty. Then we have my favorite blue, Magnesium by Prodigal Son. And it just has everything. Yeah. Then we have Olive. It looks like that tape didn't quite do the trick there. Clean up aisle 3. I don't think I've had a swatching video that I haven't had to fix something. This olive isn't real dark. We have chrome green. Super pigmented, as to be expected. Do you like how you can see me re-wet them in the pan, or would you prefer that you just saw the swatches? Let me know. Lamp black. Usually I wouldn't buy just a plain lamp black, but it did come in that gardener set. We have the white. It's a very white. Then we have the blue storm. It's a really pretty color. It kind of separates, so I'm going to leave a lot of water in that one. Got a little excited and ran into the white. Then we have a deft blue. This is a really beautiful color. Goes on the very purpley side. And it does get pretty dark. Then we have Fog by Dshalie. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. I'm not quite sure. And these you can find on Etsy. I'll leave some links in the description. And this also has that opacity to it, but it is a really pretty color. Well, my tape is just letting loose everywhere. I have that going into there, a little bit of this going into there. Well, we're going to have messy swatches today. Then we have Pansy, which is one of the specialty colors in the Mint Gardener. It's funny because the same brand of this tape in white does a really good job. And every time I use the black, it seems like it leaks all over the place. I try and keep the colors neutral, I found better tapes, but sometimes they make the swatches look so different than they actually are. This is a really pretty color. It's got quite a bit of green to it. And then our last color on here is Prussian. Beautiful, nice, true Prussian. I'd say maybe it's a tad bit lighter than I'm kind of used to. All right, we'll let those dry, and while we're doing that, we will go ahead and get these little samples going. Let's go ahead and just move our paper up a little bit. There we go. And the first one we have is Spring City. Quite pretty. Then we have Labyrinth. And this one looks like it's going to have a green base to it. That feels very chrome oxide. And then this is olive oil. Ooh, that is beautiful. It's got a beautiful glow to it. Really pretty. I tend not to do too many florals, or I at least haven't done many florals, so we're going to give this a little experiment here. Let's try petal by petal. That was a little bit of the Naples Yellow Deep, and now we're doing a little bit of the Delilah Pink. Now let's see if we can tip it a little bit in a tiny bit of naphthol. All right, let's speed this up a bit. All right, that's about as done as I'm gonna get. I am trying to get a little better at flowers. I'm far from a botanical artist. And let's take a look at closer at our colors here. Very pretty. And our little samples. And our little flower picture. So that is my little bit of I want it to be spring already inspiration. And I hope you had a little bit of fun. You have a great day. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.